Hey guys, in this video I wanted to respond to a recent Guardian article that came out of the UK concerning the plans of the Home Secretary Amber Rudd and her desire to imprison up to 15 years people who repeatedly watch extremist content on the internet. Now, for me, this is actually very concerning given some of the past rhetoric that has come out of the Conservative Party not that long ago. But I really wanted to address this. Now, a couple of years ago, I actually applied for a law degree, my LLB, through the University of London International Program, and it was a certificate program only for 1 year. And in it, we did, corporate law, contract law, and public law, or what might be considered constitutional law in the United States. And we were introduced to the idea of parliamentary sovereignty, that Parliament was sovereign. And I believe that the political class in the UK have taken this to heart, and they believe that they're on some kind of divinity trip at this point, believing that just the right type of legislation is just going to instantly solve the problems of society. I mean, we all remember that time that they made guns and drugs illegal, and instantly all guns and drugs disappeared from the United Kingdom. Or maybe I'm just remembering that wrong. But nonetheless, this seems to be the thinking. Now, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but as the article goes on to say, I want to make sure those who view despicable terrorist content online, including jihadi websites, far-right propaganda, and bomb-making instructions, face the full force of the law. Noticeably absent from this rhetoric is any kind of far-left extremism such as communism and socialism. That somehow gets a free pass. It's the wording about the far right that actually quite concerns me. Now, given not that long ago, Theresa May, the present Prime Minister of the UK and the leader of the Conservative Party, actually made this dichotomy in one of her statements, saying that we must now reject the socialist left as well as the ideology of the libertarian right. Now, much to her credit, she got the political spectrum pretty close to accurate in the sense that left and right really has more to do with government power rather than particular politics. But nonetheless, in the Prime Minister's thinking, the libertarian ideology, which is one of less government, is considered the far right. And for commentators like myself and others who actually esteem to this kind of ideology, thinking that people should have more control over themselves, over their property, over their money, the government should stay out of their bedroom, they should have private rights to privacy and other things. In the wording of the PM, now I'm very concerned that these positions are far right, and viewers of my material might actually, fall into that genre. Now, again, the wording of these types of things are always left very vague. It's a slippery slope. It might always start off as some kind of, going against extremism, but it's not a very far stretch to make that, a leap to any kind of offensive comment against the state or anything along those lines. And we're seeing this type of activity already. I recently read a Times article where it was reported that as many as 9 people a day are arrested in the UK for online comments that are considered offensive. And nonetheless, people don't think that we need to actually constitutionalize the ideas of free speech in the UK. Now, again, the UK government seems incapable of addressing the ideologies that do create extremism. They're trying to threaten people with imprisonment. They've resulted in forms of censorship. But as we know, these methods have never worked anywhere it has been tried in the past. The only real solution to an extremist ideology is, in fact, to counter that ideology in some kind of capacity. Now, you will always have zealots that no matter what you tell them, they'll just be completely unconvinced. As a person, I worked as a Christian missionary for many years, and I've dealt with my fair share of Christian fundamentalists, and I can tell you straight up, some of these people, you can't even beat these beliefs out of them. However, there are people who are in those movements who are open to other opinions. The most you can hope for is that you're going to reach those said people and they can act as bridges to try and bring more people out of extreme ideology. So the UK government, if they're serious about dealing with extremist ideology, we need more free speech. We need in the conversation to take place in public arenas. We need to weaponize the atheist and the Christians and the Buddhists and the reforming Muslims and all of these people and give them a platform to counter a lot of this religious and extreme right ideology that is creating these types of environments. But again, it seems that they're not actually willing to do that. So as long as the UK government is not willing to really tackle the causes of this thing, we're going to see this continued cycle of extremism in the country. And by targeting people that might be considered far right, which is a completely vague and subjective term, a lot of people think that anything right of Bernie Sanders in the US or Jeremy Corbyn in the UK is basically far right, completely lopping over the centrists and the moderates. This could become a very dangerous piece of legislation. So I have a lot of concerns about this. You may share my concerns, put your comments in the comments below. And yeah, again, I'd just like to thank you for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Make people aware of what's going on, or at least what the political class is thinking in the UK. And yeah, I do believe that we need to stand up for free speech and the right to privacy and just the sovereignty of the individual, that I don't think a lot of these problems can be solved by government fiat and legislation. So thanks again for watching, guys. Please connect with me on social media, all of the links below. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care.